Well, good morning, friends. Time for another day. So, I'm going to start the day. I need to put in a shut-off switch in between the solar panels and the solar charge controller. So this will kill power, interrupt power, whatever we want to call it, so that maybe like when I'm down here working on it, I can de-energize the system and I don't have a live feed coming through. So I had left myself about an extra foot of the 6 AWG wire or cable yesterday. I'm not sure what we're supposed to call it. So I've got plenty of room to work around. So really for me, this is just a question of where do I want to position this that's accessible to us. Because I thought about, I can put it underneath the stove, but then I'm never going to get to it again. So it kind of defeats the purpose of having it. If I stick it inside this cabinet, then we've got to look at it all the time, and it'll be around our food. So I'm kind of leaning that I would just stick it underneath the TV on this side. The downside to that really is that we have live connections here. So I was thinking, like, if I snug it to the ground, to the, not the ground, what do we call it? The
countertop?
Countertop, yes, thank you, Noel. So if we snug it to the countertop, then I don't see the wires, but then I realize, like, I have to run the wires up through here. So it may be that I have to just put it up a foot or so, or a few inches or so, so I have room to run the wires here. So that's the first thing I need to figure out today. And then in news of just this is how our day is going, our weekend is going, we've got a leak in our brand new faucet. And unfortunately, part of the removal process of the last faucet was a destructive step. So we really cannot go back to the last faucet. It had a fitting, and for the life of me, I could not figure out how to get that fitting off, lacking 4 hands that were completely ambidextrous. So I just cut the fitting off.
What's a forehand?
4 hands? 1, 2, 3,
Oh,
4.
4 hands. Okay.
So we cut that one off. In fact, it's already in the trash.
Oh,
So
gosh.
at some point today, I think Noelle's going to wax the car, wax the truck. And after she waxes the truck, I think Noelle will be making a run back to the RV shop. She's just learning this now. Noelle will be going back to the RV shop to exchange our $20 faucet for another $20 faucet. And if that doesn't work, we can always go to home or to Walmart and just buy a faucet there. So another day, lots of fun stuff ahead. Come on and join us. Here's my cutoff switch. So if you remember, this is my line that runs up to our combiner box on the roof. And well, this end is going over underneath the oven, all the way back through here. This end actually goes to the roof. I was trying to figure out where to place this. You can see like the faint outline here of the board that goes up here. So I'm thinking I can place it right up here. And by placing it up here, I'd run the wire through a hole here, connect it here, and I've got a nice board here that I can tie into for putting in these screws. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Take it back. So as I'm looking at this, I go in one side, out the other, so I need to punch this out. So I'm going to need to drill 2 holes, one on each side. That's still doable. So our schematic shows us, so here's the part we're about to put in here with my index finger, and I only need to put a break into the hot line, or the red line, let's say. So I'm going to cut the middle of this line with an X-Acto knife, utility blade, whatever. Then I'll pull up the red, cut it, and then I can do put on my lug nuts. By the way, these lug nuts were something that I just last week reached out to AM Solar and said, do I have these? Because I'm not finding them. And they said, oh, no, you don't. And then actually I also said, hey, do I have these lug nuts? And they said, no, you don't. Oh. I said, do I have this wire, this 6AWG? They said, no, you don't. Huh. Do I have this wire? And this is where I got the extra 20 feet from, because they were like, well, we can send you more. We sent you 5 feet. Yeah, 5 feet wouldn't, 5 feet would not have worked at all. Anyway, let's get some cutting going. Put in a new blade just for this. As embarrassing as it is, I actually had to do a quick Google search on how to change the blade on this thing. I'd swiped this one from my dad's toolbox when we were clearing out my parents' house. It's much more fancy than what I had. Oh, that opens up quite nicely. Cut right here in the middle. Back this off a bit. Let's strip off the wire. Maybe we will strip off the wire. Come on. Oh, baby. Oops. Oh, that went flying. Definitely one of the benefits of having no power to this right now is I'm not even worried about electrical hazard. Because it's just a line with no power. Flicking these onto our bed. Alright. Ouch. They're just awkward angles. You notice when they do the shrink for me, you know, with a nice small spot. Damn, made it too long. A little long. So I'll trim it. See on this side. They're both a little long. These things, you could pop off a finger with one of these suckers. I like them. There we go. That's about right. Let's see what we got on this side. That's about right. Now I need to just put on our go there. I'm so looking forward to this project being done. There are moments when I really enjoy it. There's the other 95% of the time where I'm just like, this is tedious. All right, got that guy. That guy. Nice. Got a good connection there. Let's do the other side. Could have planned that one a little better. If I would have cut down here, then I could have sat with both of these. Yeah. Did I tell you I'm a spreadsheet guy? Yeah. Once upon a time I was a smart fellow. But smart like spreadsheet kind of smart. Not this shit. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. Makes my ears hurt. You can see right here on the end, from the heat. I was reading about these. They've got like a glue inside of them, and it reacts with heat. So when you start to heat it up, you get like that little squeeze out there of glue. So I think we have a good connection. So looking at my box here, so we have one side labeled input, the other side is labeled output. So input coming in from solar, out, going out to solar charge controller. So connect to our almost screwed the pooch there, didn't I? Yes, I did. Just getting too giddy with excitement over this. So I need to feed this line through the hole that we drilled. There's one. I'll strip this back a bit. Tuck. Feed this guy through. Alright, he's fed through. Then back to our input. There's here. Output. It's here. Let's tighten these guys down. In a perfect world, I'd have like, stop for a moment. In a perfect world, I would think, instead of talking to the camera all the time. Okay, I need it coming out the side. Since in a perfect world, I would have a deep socket set, but this ain't that world. Alright, nice and tight. Alright. Connected there. Wrong freaking bed size. Nope. Son of a... Whew. Saved by a bit in my dad's collection. Thanks, Dad. Saved my bacon on this one. Nice. So it looked like from the side. I have to get some grommets. Make that look a little better. So it looked like from the other side. Off. my on. So at the moment, see, I'm going to be on. I'm going to leave it in the off position. So I think I'm done back here. So I'm just going to put the panel back on, clean this crap up. All right, here we are. So finished. And this is what we look like. So panel's back up on the side. Our stuff is stuffed back in here. And then here's our switch up here, left in the off position. I was thinking about it. I'll probably just come in, actually, since I've got so much Dicor that I'll be using, I'll probably just seal this with Dicor. But I will wait and do that until actually I verify everything in the whole complete solar system works. Then I'll come back and seal this up. I suspect some of you may have been like questioning my choice of bits for drilling, and truth be told, this was not the recommended bits. It's the recommended size, 7/8 of an inch, not the recommended bit. So as crazy it is to get like a hole cutter bit, and the attachment to fit just our regular drill was going to run us about $45. This bit was like $8 and just good to go. So I recognized, particularly on the roof, because of these very aggressive edges here, I needed to be very careful. So I don't know if I said it when I was on the roof. In the beginning, I actually was going in reverse, really just trying to gently cut through the rubber. So I didn't get as clean a cut as I would like, but the price point I like, so I can live with it. Psst. Well, here we are, back on the roof.
Here we are, as in you.
Yeah, here I am on the roof. This is like our post-production riff. The reality is, when I'm up on the roof in the RV parks, I'm really not wanting to talk to you.
Feels a little weird.
Yeah, there's people all around. Like here, we were right next to some bushes and stuff, so on one side it wasn't too bad, but on the other side, there were like other people like right there. And I feel kind of silly like talking into a camera when there are people right there. So here, I was actually going through, and this is where our old solar panel was located. So I took that solar panel off, I moved it over to the other side, and now I have to clean up. So there's the old solar panel that I moved over.
It's 20 watts?
No, that's 100 watt.
Oh, that's 100 watts.
20 watt is on top of the AC unit.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's where it's always been?
Yes, 20 watt. So we relocated this from one side to the other. Then I have to go up here. Now I have to mount the new old panel, or the old panel in a new location.
New footings.
Yeah. One of the challenges here really is just space, or lack thereof it. And you got to tell me, am I fat, or does this shirt make me look fat? It's just the shirt.
It's just how you're bending over and there's air pocket in there. You're not fat, honey.
Oh.
You know.
Yeah.
You look great.
So here, like I'm like mounting that stupid like television antenna thing.
We don't think we've ever used it.
Yeah.
Have we?
It's connected to our antenna, so when we
is?
turn on like the booster, yeah, it does something. We could add more to it. You could actually add like a wireless receiver, so you could use, I think it's WinGuard, use their plan or something.
For Wi-Fi?
Yeah, for a hotspot. So yeah, now I'm just remounting the panel. If you look closely on my left leg there, you can see that I've got like a gray smear. This was Dicor that got on my leg. I didn't really worry about it at the time. Like the day or after this or the next day, I peeled the Dicor off foolishly. And it peeled off a nice layer of skin with it.
Yeah. Which
didn't seem that bad at the time, but then like 3 or 4 days after this, I was just in extreme pain anytime I would kneel working on our project. Yeah. So really this was just, I went through with our Lysol wipes. I cleaned up the pad where I was going to put the solar mounting brackets or whatever. And we put the brackets on there, and then we put the Dicor on there. Then we put the bolts on there, and then we tighten the bolts down. Then after I get all the bolts tightened down, yeah, that's a little flesh showing. Oh. After I get all the bolts tightened down, then I need to come back and like dab the whole thing with Dicor. here's the top view. This is what it looks like now that we're all done. So we got the 3 panels right there. You can see each of them at 100 watts. And the one right in front of us at the bottom, this is our 20 watt. Well, this brings us to the close of today. It's only 1 o'clock, maybe, I don't know, 12:30, 1 o'clock. But it's just too hot on the roof for me to keep going.
You're a little soaked.
I'm a little moist, So I did get the solar panel moved, which was what I wanted to do. So I moved our original solar panel from this side to this side, got it anchored in. I'll need to run by like a hardware store. So I had 8 bolts essentially that were holding down the clamps for the original solar panel. So when I took those bolts out to use them on the other side, now I have 8 holes over on this side. So I'm just going to get more bolts, put the bolts in those holes, and then die core the living shit out of it and call it good. Otherwise I would just be leaving holes up there for rain to come in. Certainly as I'm looking at this up there, this is not ideal. Like I ended up placing, like we did our connection here and then straight up behind this. If I had just come out like where our TV is at, like I've got this diagonal box back here. If I had just come into this diagonal box, that would have given me like another 6 inches, and that would have been enough that I would not have had to move the solar panel. So I guess this is another hint for you if you're looking at doing your 990. Don't come back and tell me though I told you wrong. But I think through here, behind the TV, there's lots of empty space behind the TV, and then you could go up. But that all may depend upon where your solar panel is. If you don't have solar panels already, then you really don't have to frickin' worry about it. You can just kind of move around where you want to move around. But we were limited really by my inexperience and by where our one solar panel was already situated. But for today, you know, I'm happy we got a break in. Tomorrow my plan will be to finish what I need to do on the roof, and then after that I think it's all just a matter of connections now underneath the sink and in the battery compartment and underneath the refrigerator. So fingers crossed.
Refrigerator or stove?
Stove, that thing. The thing that heats up. But for today, I'm good. We need to replace this, so that'll be our next task.